Welcome back, everybody, to For the Sake of the Parlay. Today is May 8th, 2026, and what we're going to do today, we're going to review yesterday's parlay of the day with our alternate line suggestions and give you today's parlay of the day with the alternate line suggestions. All right, so let's get right into it. But before we get into today's video, let me tell you why you should subscribe. All right, first of all, we are PPCs here, and PPCs are professional parlay creators. Parlays is what y'all want, and parlays is what y'all gonna get here, okay? We create parlays, and we do this full time. We're giving you parlays consistent of all types of bets, including player props, totals, and spreads across all major sports. Next, this is a collaborative channel consisting of two people. We are lucky to have two PPCs in this channel, and the architect and the voice. Obviously, I'm the voice, but the architect is really the one doing a lot of the planning, designing, and managing throughout the parlay making process. Without the architect, there would be no channel or none of these parlays. Lastly, and most importantly, we are giving you free daily content with picks and receipts. This is our 32nd day in a row of posting parlays with reviews. We are showing you our actual betting slips and results. We are going to keep posting and showing you the results because we don't get tired like Kevin Gates, and we ain't never scared like Bone Crusher. We ain't new to this, we true to this, y'all. And y'all know y'all doing the same damn thing as us every day, so you might as well smash that like and subscribe button and do it for the sake of the parlay. So first of all, let's start off with our review from yesterday's parlay of the day from May 7th, 2026. And why these reviews are important is they're going to be very helpful for the next time you make a bet. And they're going to be very helpful because we're going to provide very good information that you can get from previous videos to help you make a better bet. So yesterday we had another very close day. We went 6 out of 8 picks again, and we got burned by one error in the Orioles game, and Austin Reeves decided to play basketball for once ever since he got back from injury, and the Lakers lost to OKC. Here are the results from yesterday. We were wrong on the over 8.5 in the Baltimore Orioles and Marlins game. We were right on the over 8.5 in the Tampa Bay Rays and Boston Red Sox game. Then we were right on the Cardinals winning on the run line against San Diego Padres. Then we were right on the under 5.5 in the Hurricanes and Flyers game. Then we were right with Cade Cunningham recording 2+ threes. We were right about Tobias Harris recording 6+ rebounds. And then we were also right about Marcus Smart recording 3+ rebounds. And as I mentioned earlier, we were wrong about Austin Reeves recording under 18.5 points. First, we're going to talk about one of our wrong picks, which was the over 8.5 in the Baltimore Orioles and Miami Marlins game. Miami wound up winning 4-3, but the story here is what happened at the bottom of the 9th inning. So this game was tied 3-3 going to the bottom of the 9th. So our bet had a really good chance of hitting and going into extra innings as both teams would have needed to score, and our bet possibly could have won. But as you can see here, it says Javier Sanoa reaches on a throwing error by third baseman Kobe Mayo. Joe Mack scores. And what's so really important here, all right, there was 2 outs left in the bottom of the 9th inning, okay? So this game was 1 out away from going to extra innings, and this guy, Kobe Mayo, throws a bad ball to the first baseman, and he does not catch it, okay? So instead of it being 3 outs and the game going to extra innings, the Miami Marlins wound up scoring. As you can see them partying here and celebrating and stuff like that. And then on another note, Povich exits the start versus the Marlins with forearm discomfort. All right, so it says the 26-year-old allowed 3 hits and 3 runs, all earned, walked 2, struck out 1 over 3 frames. All right, and I ain't gonna read the rest, but just to let y'all know, this is some weak ass shit. And pitchers in the MLB do this. When they're having a bad game, they'll all of a sudden say that they're hurt. It says forearm discomfort. It don't say nothing about nothing being broken or ripped or anything like that. He basically said his arm hurt and he left the game. All right, but the real story here is, yes, this error again, all right, it should have been a routine damn out, and instead of it being an out, it resulted in a run, and that hurt our parlay. So Kobe Mayo, fuck you. You fucked up our parlay. We was looking really good until this, and then yeah, that's what happened. So it's very unfortunate, but we've been getting very unlucky lately. Next, we took a 2-pick same game parlay for Marcus Smart to record 3+ rebounds and Austin Reeves to go under 18.5 points. And the Lakers wound up losing to OKC 107-125. So OKC's up 2 in the series, but the story here is, one, Austin Reeves decided to actually play basketball yesterday. So he scored 31 points and actually went 3 of 6 from 3, which is really good. But that was bad for our parlay because he's been disappointing us every time we took him on the parlay of the day. And then he shows out and scores 31 points and a loss. And as we predicted also, Marcus Smart, he recorded 4 rebounds, okay? And 3 rebounds was very low. Like, you should just get 3 rebounds just from being on the court. But he wound up getting 4 rebounds and he went green for us. But like I said, Austin Reeves was the reason why we didn't eat that calamari, because he went way over 18.5 points, scoring 31. But Marcus Smart came through for us. Next, we were right on the St. Louis Cardinals winning on the run line against the San Diego Padres, and the Cardinals wound up winning 2-1. All right, and as I mentioned yesterday, I picked this pick because I got a free report from the Action Network, and they recommended taking the Cardinals on the money line. So for the sake of our parlay, I took them on the run line, and they wound up winning, okay? And as you can see here, Liberatore, he pitched a very good game for the Cardinals, pitching 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, and 6 strikeouts. And King of the Padres, he pitched very well as well. He pitched 6 innings, 1 hit, 1 earned run, and 6 strikeouts. But the difference was the Padres pitching. Rodriguez, he gave up 1 earned run in the 7th inning, and that was the difference of the game. It was really a pitcher's duel. Obviously, the game was 2-1, and as you can see here, only 3 runs were scored in the whole game. But hey, the Cardinals won, and that's all that matters. They win Green Forest. Next, we were right about the Tampa Bay Rays in the Boston Red Sox game, going over 8.5 runs, and the Rays wound up winning 8-4. As you can see here, they both got a lot of hits. The Rays got 13 hits, the Red Sox got 7 hits, and our bet, it was actually not looking good except until the 8th inning. So that's when Tampa Bay really took advantage of the Red Sox bullpen, and they were able to score 2 more runs in that inning. And yes, I was right about the starting pitchers in both teams, one being new, one being coming from the bullpen. That was a big reason why they scored a lot of runs early in the game, and that caused our bet to go Green Forest. Next, we're right about the under 5.5 in the Carolina Hurricanes and the Philadelphia Flyers game. And the Hurricanes wound up winning 4-1, okay? So that was only 5 goals scored for the whole game. And as you can see here, our bet was good all the way in the game. There was 1 goal scored by Carolina in the first, and then 1 each in the second, and then 2 by Carolina in the third. Also, what's very important to note here is that Carolina outshot Philadelphia 30-19. So that just means that Carolina is low-key dominating them. Okay, 19 shots isn't a lot, and an extra 11 shots is a huge difference in the game because you need to get a shot off to score a goal. Speaking of goalies, Anderson had another stellar game. He saved 18 out of 19 shots, resulting in a 95% save percentage off Vladar. He only saved 26 out of 30 shots, giving up 4 and only having an 87% save percentage. And that was the difference of the game. And regardless, hey, it still went under for us. Lastly, we took a 2-pick same game parlay. We took Kate Cunningham to record 2+ threes and Tobias Harris to record 6+ rebounds. And they both came through for us as the Pistons wound up beating the Cavaliers 107-96. And Cade went 3 for 6 from 3-point. All right, he ended the game with 25 points in 42 minutes. And that was really good. And Tobias Harris finished the game with 7 rebounds, and he added on 21 points in 37 minutes. So they both came through for us. It was a really good pick. Shout out to Architect for giving us this pick. These were his picks, and they definitely came through for us. All right, let's talk about the alternate line suggestions from yesterday, May 7th, 2026. And as you can see here, we went 3 for 3, all right, because a push is a win. So first of all, in this Orioles game, we recommended the over 7. It wound up being 7 runs, but just remember, it was because of that error, okay? The original bet was 8.5. We recommended 7. And if that error didn't happen, that game was going to go 3-3 in the extra innings. And then at least one other run was scored, so it could have ended in 7. But it's more likely that both teams were going to score because Baltimore was going to be up to bat first. And then it was going to be Miami. So they were going to either tie it up or win. But yeah, that error really cost us our bet. But regardless, the push is a win. Next, we recommended the under 6.5 goals in the Carolina and Philadelphia Flyers game. And this game was 4-1. Okay, so our original bet of under 5.5 hits. So obviously under 6.5 will hit, but you would have just gave yourself extra cushion. Lastly, and shout out to the Action Network, they gave us a free report. They recommended taking St. Louis on the money line, and they actually did win outright. We took them on the plus 1.5 in the parlay of the day, but we recommended to give St. Louis plus 2.5, and hey, they won outright. So obviously, if they won outright, the bet was good anyway. And yeah, this has most definitely been the most important part of our channel, this segment, because these alternate lines is what you can use to really make our parlay. And we've definitely been hitting at about 90% on these alternate lines, which means that our bets are good when we're recommending taking one way or another. All right, here's what you've been waiting for. Here's the parlay of the day for May 8th, 2026. And just remember, we're giving you that octopus. That octopus is that raw parlay ticket, that raw 8-leg parlay. All right, and what we're going to do is finally turn that octopus into some calamari so we can eat good. All right, and we're going to eat good live on this channel when we get our first channel win. So here's the parlay of the day. First of all, we're going to take the over 2.5 goals for the Buffalo Sabres versus the Montreal Canadiens. And we're going to take the under 3.5 goals for the Golden Knights in their game against the Ducks. Then we're going to take the Arizona Diamondbacks on the plus 1.5 run line against the New York Mets. Then we're going to take the team total of over 3.5 runs for the Washington Nationals against the Miami Marlins. Then we're going to take the Minnesota Twins on the plus 1.5 run line against the Guardians. Then we're going to take Paul George to record 15 plus points against the Knicks. Then we're going to take the under 16.5 in the Spurs versus Timberwolves game. And lastly, we're going to take the under 4.5 runs for the team runs for the Yankees today. All right, first we're going to take the Buffalo Sabres to record over 2.5 goals. And we like this because The Sabres have averaged 3.7 goals over their last 10 games, okay? So scoring 3 is about what they're expected to do, and we believe that they will do that. Also, they have a very aggressive playing style, and they specialize in high danger shots, which are the shots around the goal, all right? And the goalie, those are highly converted shots. Once you get the puck very close to the goalie, that's what they do. And lastly, they are favorites, all right? So they're the favorites in this game, so that just means that Vegas is expecting them to score the goals and win the game. So we like the over 2.5 goals, and they will go green for us. All right, next we're taking the Vegas Golden Knights to score under 3.5 team goals. And we like this because they scored under 3.5 goals in 10 of their last 11 games against Anaheim, all right? So they usually typically play low-scoring games. Also, the first 2 games in this playoff series, they have scored 1 goal in one game and 3 goals in the other. Next, Dostal of Anaheim has been playing very well. So if the goalie of the opposing team is playing very well, they won't be scoring many goals. Also, both teams specialize in defensive playing styles in the playoffs, so they are focused on defense and preventing the other team from scoring, and that just is not good for Vegas if they want to score over 3.5 goals. Also, the over 3.5 goals is plus money, so that just means that Vegas is not expecting them to score a lot of goals at all, and that favors our bet as well, as we definitely expect Vegas to record under 3.5 goals. Next, we're taking the Arizona Diamondbacks to win on the plus 1.5 run line against the Mets. And we like this because when I was doing some research, I found this out, but 28% of all MLB games are decided by 1 run exactly. So that alone favors our bet a lot. Then next, the Diamondbacks are 23-12 on the run line this year. So that means that they're really outperforming expectations, and games in which they are dogs, they probably should be favorites. Also, Arizona has won 25 out of the last 40 home games, so they play really well at home. And lastly, I like this because the Mets are overrated. You know, a couple videos ago, I posted y'all a screenshot of what they had on ESPN.com, that the Mets had the worst team per salary. They paid all these people and they ain't performing for them. So we really like the Diamondbacks to come through to at least keep it close and could mess around and win the game. All right, next we're going to take the Washington Nationals and record over 3.5 team runs against the Marlins. And we like this because recently, the last 10 games, Washington has moved their slugging percentage from about 39% to about 44. And that's really good because that just means that when they're getting hits, they're getting extra base hits like doubles and home runs. So that's really good for a team if we're betting them to get over 3.5 runs. Also, they've been averaging about 4.6 runs in that span too. So they're scoring more runs. And also, one of the best things is they're going up a pitching staff against a pitching staff, which has been very compromised. They've been using a lot of pitchers. They've been using their bullpen a lot. So this favors the Nationals, and they should be able to cover for us and get over 3.5 runs so we can go green. Next, we're going to take the Minnesota Twins on the plus 1.5 run line against the Cleveland Guardians. And we like this because the Twins offense has been playing very well lately. So they've been scoring about 5 runs a game in May, and that's really good. The total 7.5, so that's more than half the runs right there. So if they play normally how they've been playing lately, they should get about that and definitely exceed that total. And the next, Connor Prelip is pitching. Now Connor, he's been good lately. He's a newer pitcher that I've been betting on, and if he come through for us again today and make the Twins win on the run line, he's probably going to be officially on the list. All right. And then lastly, this is a divisional game. All right, this is an AL Central game, American League Central game, and these games matter more because this is how the playoffs are determined. So these games are usually closer played, and because both teams want to win, because these games have double the impact. So we definitely like the Minnesota Twins to win on the run line, and we expect them to go with the green for us. And Connor, if he comes through for us, he's most definitely going to be on the list. Next, we're taking Paul George to record 15 plus points against the New York Knicks tonight. And we like this because Paul George has cleared 15 points in 7 out of his last 8 games. And that's actually really good. Okay, so that alone is good enough to bet this. And next, he's been averaging about 38 minutes a game. All right, so all these playoff teams are really playing their starters. Paul George is a starter, and he's really good, all right? And then lastly, Paul George is Paul George for a reason, all right? They called him PG-13 for a reason. He's a veteran scorer, and we expect him to get at least 15, but he's probably going to exceed that as they are going to try to get their first win in this series and try to make things interesting. But Paul George will come through for us. Next, we're taking the under 16.5 in the Minnesota versus San Antonio Spurs game. We like this because this game's being played in Minnesota, and the series is tied up 1-1, but Minnesota's been really good on the under at home. They are 30-14 on the under at home games, which means that when they're playing at home, they play pretty hard and pretty tough. And next, the Spurs have hit the under in 3 of their last 4 games. Also, Minnesota has only scored under 104 points in their last 2 games. And lastly, the blowout factor is real. Minnesota got blown out by damn near 40 last game. It was 38. And blowouts are a very real thing, especially in this NBA playoffs. So when blowouts favors unders, because that means one team is scoring a whole bunch of points and the other team is not scoring many points at all. So we do expect this game to go under for us for a lot of reasons, and we will find out very soon. So stay tuned. Lastly, we like the Yankees to record under 4.5 team runs against the Milwaukee Brewers. And we like this because Misiorowski is an elite pitcher, okay? His strikeout prop is 7.5 strikeouts and -110. So that means they're expecting him to strike out a lot of batters. And also he strikes out 38% of the batters he faces. So this just means that, one, if he's striking out a lot of batters, that means he's probably going to pitch deep into the game. And that's very good for our under 4.5 team under. Also, what is really important, which they don't talk about on SportsCenter, that's why y'all are here, is Yankees ranked 20th in strikeouts. All right, so there's only 10 more teams that strike out more than the Yankees, and that's not something you're going to hear on SportsCenter. Okay, they have a high payroll, but they also have really bad games and strike out a lot, especially people like Aaron Judge. So we definitely expect this to go under 4.5 runs, because this is a 2 elite pitching matchup with Fried and Misiorowski, but it's most definitely going to go under. All right, here are our alternate line suggestions for today, May 8th, 2026. First of all, we're going to recommend taking the under 222.5 in the Spurs versus Timberwolves game. We're taking the under 216.5 in our parlay of the day, but giving yourself an extra 6 points is a very good bet. Next, we're recommending Paul George to record at least 12.5 points. So that means he's got to score 13 points for this bet to clear. We're taking him to score 15, but giving yourself an extra little cushion of 2.5 points in your parlay. And then next, recommended taking the Vegas Golden Knights and the under 4.5 team total goals. Now they're over 3.5 goals is plus money, so taking them in the under 4.5 goals is a very safe bet. They shouldn't be scoring a lot of goals, and this is probably going to be another low scoring game. But those are the alternate lines for today. And just remember, with our alternate line suggestions for today, a better number equals more cushion. For example, in this Spurs versus Timberwolves game today, the under 225.5 is better than the under 216.5. And when you do get that better number, that usually means less odds. For example, the under 216.5 is -110 in our parlay of the day. However, our alternate line that we're suggesting, the under 225, is -200. All right, there you have it, everybody. That was the parlay of the day. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck betting today, especially if you're trailing our bets. And just remember, winners never quit. Miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and one good parlay can make your day. All right, and we'll be back tomorrow with another video and another parlay of the day.